How am I coming in, guys? Good. All right, all right. Let me get some music playing. Welcome in, guys. We're gonna give a minute for everyone to kind of get in here. All right. Got some music going now. All right, all right. Let me go ahead and check how we sounding. Excuse me, guys, for a second. Let me. All right, all right. So we're sounding pretty good. Thank you guys for coming in to the chat. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves while we do this thing over here. It has been a while, hasn't it? Very much so. Very much so. Sorry for the long hiatus. Life has been, well, doing this thing. I was given a rare opportunity to have an evening free for the most part. So here we are trying to make something out of it. I've been also putting off art because I've been focusing on other things, and I felt like this was a good opportunity to do just that. We got. Oh, hey, how you doing, Declan? Thank you for joining the chat. Let's see. I should be able to see these things over here. I should. Hold on, guys. I'm just looking at this. So I have OBS opened up here, and I'm trying to see why this YouTube chat isn't showing up here. Should be. Okay, and I do hate how they expect you to, you know. Okay, there we go. How is chat different than YouTube chat? That's weird. Okay, we're going to. There we go. Okay, I guess from now on I'm just gonna have it set up for the chat of, you know, I guess whatever YouTube is. All right, so. And a lot of people are gonna be wondering, well, hey, what are you gonna be doing today? Well, I am probably going to muck around and see what we can actually come up with. Not saying I don't have a idea, I do, but sometimes it's always good to go off script and see what you can actually come up with and just let your mind wander, so to speak. Here is something I was working on in the background. Let me know if you guys would rather see me play around with this instead. I did kind of felt like I wanted to take this in a different direction, which is why I haven't finished it yet. Still in those early stages of, you know, playing around with the website. I mean, with the picture. So now I did put a poll on my channel, which is no longer there, but I originally was trying to get people's pulse on what they would want me to draw on them, but you know, I guess my inactivity has allowed for people to kind of float on to other creators, no fault but my own. So here we are. Yeah, so we're just gonna hey, what's up, Rob? What's up? You know, you probably heard me talking about that thing. Yeah, no, I was having I did have a poll a while ago, and I was trying to get people's what's the word, suggestions and things. You know what? I'm gonna change this music real quick. So hold on a second. Gotta be careful about what I pick for music, because don't want to have copyrights and things of that nature. But all right, let me know if you guys can hear this instead. Okay, yeah, it sounds a whole lot it's a whole lot upbeat. All right. Oh yeah, no, you would be right, Rob. This is a before and after type of a picture. You should still read the manga. Oh yeah, no, I do plan on still reading it. Yeah, definitely. I do still plan on reading it. Yes, definitely. I have a website that I've already scouted out to read it on. So. Okay. which is funny because I actually started recording the process of doing this picture. So if anything, this would just serve as another it just serve as another recording for said picture if I choose to continue it. There still is probably some more I have to do to this before it would even be ready, obviously. But again, the reason why I haven't pulled the trigger on finishing this picture is because of, you know, feeling like it was a little too plain or bland. And, you know, maybe I should like do something a little more dynamic or something. So, yeah. It's currently raining where I'm at, so that's why I was like, you know what? It wouldn't be such a bad time to, you know, do some art, right? Trying to see if I can get some more. All right, so how are you feeling otherwise, guys? Let me go ahead and that's gonna probably come back and bite me. You know what? Let's all right. All right. We're gonna find something else. Some things that are supposed to be free of copyright still have copyrights tied to them. So let's try to find something else. Let's go to one that I've actually used before. I need to actually, you know what I need to do? I need to start making like a playlist or a you know, that's what I need to start doing. Like it's just one area, like a YouTube save playlist of just stuff that's, you know. Hey, I appreciate that. Did art. Let me see. See if I can read your entire. Keep going and growing. Hey, man, I appreciate that. Thank you. So Seems like you guys want me to tackle the Sun Jin Woo picture from Solo one. All right, I mean, there's no problem with that. All right, well, see, so the next thing I was actually going to be doing with this is doing some line work stuff. I was still fleshing out some of the lines and stuff, but probably be good to go on to the line work. Do I still have the picture though? That's the question. Okay, I have this picture ready to go. So that's good. I don't have the before picture ready. Let me hunt that down real quick. I had it in my Pinterest. Okay, that's weird. Confirm. Okay, that's there we go. That's weird. You guys ever had like a website log you out unexpectedly and you're just like, okay, I didn't log out. Who the hell logged me out? Like I literally just had that happen to me. All right, let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have hunted down the before picture. So we have that ready to go. Go ahead and download that. And I guess if I really wanted to, I could bring it down to here. Okay, how about we not do that? All right, so I have the references ready to go. Now all I gotta do is actually get some of this line work going. I guess I'll keep it up here so I can. Okay. All right, we're gonna see if we can get some line work in. feel like the head, I made the head a little too fat, to be honest with you. With the so wait. And that's how we fix that issue right there. So if you guys have any questions while I'm, here, working, feel free to ask me. I will do my best to try to answer any questions. Actually, let me check something before I do this. Let's check the resolution of this before we move on, because okay, so we do have it at 144. Let's bump this up to 3 just to see what we get. That's a little trippy. Right? So I've seen some pretty cool anime lately. And that'd be something worth talking about. Maybe you guys can give me some not recommendations, but maybe go over what you guys probably have seen. I've been watching this show called Kowloon Generic Romance, and that let me tell you is a pretty trippy show. I won't go into too much of it because I know we have someone here who hasn't gotten to it yet, but yeah, it's pretty trippy of a show. Windbreaker season 2 is pretty good. they introduce a pretty interesting character in the second season. At first I was wondering like, why is this character here, right? Like, what purpose does this character serve? But upon watching the way it was handled, it wasn't poorly done. So like, it actually makes sense why. Oh yeah, hey, Braden, hey, how you doing, man? So the line work we're currently working on, I have a reference pulled up off screen, so I can get this looking pretty good. I'm just using a regular G Pen tool from Clip Studio Paint, and trust me, it's as good as this looks. It only looks as good because I have it at 300 DPI, and I'm just kind of going over it right now. I'm probably gonna have to go back and clean up some stuff, but tilting the canvas a little bit helps with the getting the curvature right, because you kind of want to have it follow your natural line, like a hand stroke. So that's why I'm doing that. So now I'm just gonna straighten this out so I can see if there's any areas I missed. But yeah, no, I thank you for the question. It's always good, and it's always good to check your what you're doing, and keep track of stuff. Some artists will have a separate window of the same file opened up. But I mean, which I could do the same thing as well. I just rather work like this for now. And that was me flipping it. Holy shit. Actually, that might not be such a bad idea. Okay, that was like a happy accident, dude. I flipped the canvas upside down, and it actually worked. It's out better from having it that way. Again, you want to kind of want to have the canvas in the orientation where your hand can naturally flow. That's why that way lines look a little bit more organic. Listen to me sound like I know what I'm talking about. Oh boy. I joke, but yeah, no. I going back to what I was saying before. Windbreaker season 2, yeah. So the character is pretty, like I said, unapologetically doing this thing. And again, when I first saw it, I was like, okay, what purpose was it here? Is this character? What purpose does it serve to the story? About like an episode or two later, I see the purpose, and I'm just like, okay, cool. It's because the show overall has been kind of about this kid who has to like get used to being around people, or being around making friends and stuff. He's been a loner for so long, So he's experiencing all these different things kind of for the first time, you know, friendship, brotherhood, right? The idea of brotherhood through fighting, right? So so in the spirit of, you know, doing all these having all these new experiences and meeting all these new people, I guess that's the reason why they threw this character in. And like I said, I probably wouldn't have minded it if it was done any other way, like differently or whatever the case. But like I said, they did a pretty good job with the background of the character, giving it some background. It's not just there as a talking, like a mouthpiece, talking point, or whatever the case may be. So I appreciate that. Okay. And like I said before, I know it's been a while. Since I've been, you know, on YouTube posting anything, and so that's what kind of compelled me to do this today and be like, you know what? Let's post something, or at least try to do something art related. So a lot of people don't understand the creative process isn't one that can be rushed. You know, it's though people can force themselves to do art, you would then have to kind of question the quality, right? Because not everything that's rushed has good quality. Just look at movies for that. But, could I ask, how long have you been drawing for? Okay, Braden. I've been, well, let's see. Shit. I'm 30. I'm in my 30s, mid 30s. I've been drawing since I was about. Well, I doodled a lot when I was a kid, but started to actually draw and take drawing seriously when I was about 10 or 11 years old. So, that would be about the time I would say I started to really start drawing. So you figure from 11 to now I'm in my 30s, we're talking about a few decades at this point, which in retrospect seems like a very, very long time actually. So yeah, no, yeah, took that question, and I now realize how long it's been. Wow, man, it's crazy. Funny how time flies. So, but I've always been you know, into anime since I was about the same age when I started to really take drawing seriously. I don't know who else is a fan of Yu-Gi-Oh here, but Yu-Gi-Oh was where it kind of started for me. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, and sorry about that. I had to fix something real quick. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. That's where it started for me for a lot, it did for a lot of people. I can remember drawing pictures of Yugi and his alter ego and stuff when I was a kid. Pretty good pictures actually for a 12, 13-year-old kid. And then I could do some portraits of people in school. People would ask me, "Hey, can you draw me?" Blah blah. So that's how I got a little good at that along the way. And now I just kind of do this as a hobby / trying to keep the skill somewhat relevant in my brain, because I told myself a very long time ago, if it'd be a very sad day for me if I couldn't do the thing I like to do, which is art. It'd be a very sad day for me. So I do a little bit here and there to kind of keep the what's the word? Trying to keep the mojo going, as they say. So and it's funny because I actually did a story. I have a good funny story that goes with that. One day when I was at the library, my local library, back when I was in my 20s, early 20s, I was sitting drawing, and this guy was sitting there, and he was a slightly older guy, probably somewhere in his 40s, and he was like, "Yeah, man," he was like, "Yeah, man, I used to draw back when I was a kid. I don't really do it that much anymore, right?" And I was like, "Yo, man, I'm pretty sure you still got it, right?" Trying to encourage him and stuff. And he was like, "Nah, I don't think I got it no more." And I was like, I gave him a piece of paper and a pencil. And I was like, "No, go ahead and sketch up something real quick." He was like, "All right, cool." And then he fucking sketches out a damn near comic accurate Superman from I forgot the artist cause he couldn't think of the artist depiction that he was doing it, and he only did it from the chest up. No, but he had the hair, the freaking spit curl, the freaking jawline. I'm talking about the really square jaw, some slight muscle definition. I was like, "How long has it been since you last picked up a pencil?" He was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "Man, it's been 10 years or so since the last time he picked up a pencil." I was like, "Man, you could have fooled me." So, goes to show that you never really lose it. But I would rather not, go so long. It's like working out. I would want to go a year without doing it. And you gotta do it in some capacity, right? So, so that's where we are. So that's kind of where I'm at with this right now. I'm doing this so I don't get rusty. So. Let's see. But no, but that was a great question, Brayden. Thank you. Keep them coming, man. I don't mind going into backstory and lore and stuff. And another thing about good that never fades away, but I get wanting to polish it where you can. Oh yeah, no, definitely. You still have like I said, it's like um you want to, you know, keep it sharp, you know, without it fading entirely. And you know, I'm I don't think it's a skill that I'll ever lose because I've been doing it for so long. But it's just kind of like insurance, so to speak. Like I would rather do what I can to keep it from fading instead of just hoping and praying that it kind of again, kind of like with the working out, you know, like if you don't ever do it, your muscles will atrophy, right? But at least if you're somewhat active, your muscles will never fade. They might get weaker slightly, but you'd be surprised you'll still be able to you know, lift something that you need to at a moment notice, etc., etc. You know. Also, the reason why I started working out as well was to keep the muscles from atrophying and getting old. And you know, as you get older, you know, things start to ache, and you kind of minimize some of that if you're some way active. So, there you go. And it's like I said, it's the same concept. Same concept. I'm probably gonna want to do the hair on another layer, just so I can focus on just the hair. Let's see. It's always good to label your stuff too, as well. That way you can, you know, not have things get all jumbled around in the programs when you're doing stuff. Let's see. Now this picture that I'm looking at for Jin Woo is actually pretty funny because the hair looks like it's damn near bigger than his actual head is. So won't be going completely by the picture here because I gotta make it make sense. But if you guys can see what I'm looking at, you guys will probably laugh. I think it's from the actual manga, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the artist depiction of Jin Woo in this moment is like his hair is like, I guess, flowing or something like that. So it's like the volume of his hair is like slightly bigger than where the top of his head would actually be. So let's see. And that's the other thing about this particular art style, whoever drew this, is that they have it in clumps, but with some minor shading to make it look like it. Hey, Human Super Saiyan, yeah. There's some minor shading that help it look like it's broken up into strands, but most of it is clumped together. So I'm gonna try to recreate that a little bit. It's actually funny you mentioned Super Saiyan because like his eyes are actually also like glowing and shit too. So it's like it's almost akin to it to the whole Super Saiyan transformation. So, but what I'll do is that after I get the hair looking somewhat decent to where I want, I'll um I'll merge it down to the layer below it, and then that way it could be. Actually, you know, I might just leave it actually on its own separate layer. That way, when I go and I color everything in, everything's in its own place, and I don't have to worry about it bleeding over, etc., etc. Let me know if you listen, if you guys are enjoying the playlist. It's it's apparently a game streaming playlist of lo-fi music. So I would love to play my own music selection, but copyrights and things of that nature would probably keep me from having it in the VOD that would come out after this. So. Cause like if it was me, I'd be playing like Linkin Park right now and all that stuff. Or maybe something like some opening system anime. Let's see. So a former colleague of mine, I guess. I wouldn't even call him a colleague. Would I call him a colleague? Well, he's a another aspiring artist, I guess I'll say that. I saw a post from him earlier today about posting online and the light bulb going off in his head about how if he had just been posting stuff all this time since he would, you know, because he's saying he's getting ready to be in his 30s, and you know, had he been posting since his 20s, he'd have a bunch of followers slash content and people who would follow him and things of that nature. And I was like, huh, I guess the light bulb finally did go off in his head. However, he's conflating consistent posting to being famous online, or being going viral, so to speak. And I was like, ooh, you know, you're halfway there, like you're almost there. You haven't, like, you're on the right track. Like, because the key thing about it that she's forgetting is that one doesn't guarantee the other. Just because you're a consistent poster online on Instagram or whatever other platform you post to doesn't guarantee popularity. Because unfortunately the issue with being an artist online is that there is so many other people doing. Your competition is literally the next artist who, for all you know, could have been farming an audience since 2008, 2009. You're seeing them now as in the last maybe 2 or 3 years grow. They could have been grinding for like 4 or 5 years before they finally took off, right? So it's very it's very much one of those situations where you can't compare, but I could also understand why you would, because you're probably looking at it like, man, that person is really, really successful. I want to be successful too. But not knowing the background of how they got there is going to probably drive you up the wall more so. And then I started thinking to myself, you know what? That thought came to you. You should probably take your own advice. This is like me. This is like if it was like me, from the outside version of me, thinking to myself, like, you know what? You should probably practice what you're preaching. So I was like, you know what? If I get a chance to stream, I'll stream and post that. Or if I work on some artwork that's maybe in the preliminary stages or something, I'll post that and just have something worth posting. Some people like seeing work in progress pictures, so you know, not everything has to be polished and finished, so to speak. So here we are. But I did miss you know, I did miss this. Just sitting and you got your music playing and just sinking your teeth into something for a certain amount of time. And yeah, no, this is semi therapeutic in a way. Sorry if I butchered that. My fucking mouth couldn't fucking form the word right there. But yeah, no, this is therapeutic in a way. And given my recent given my recent things personally going on, this was I needed this, so to speak. So oh, okay. So I just zoomed in on the reference and I saw something I missed. Let's see if I can recreate that. So it's kind of like a little bit of a hairline done here. I mean, for the most part, that's the hair. The color will probably help it a whole lot more, but let's move on to the pre awakened Sung Jin-woo. And if you guys haven't pieced it together yet, that's kind of what the feeling of this image is supposed to be. Maybe you guys are getting your own work done in the background. That's really cool if you guys are. Maybe I'm inspiring somebody to go out and do something of their own. And that's actually kind of that brings me to another interesting talk, little conversation. The feeling of actually inspiring people to do stuff. I had a moment a little while ago, actually. This happened. Gym related. I was at work raving about the new regimen I was working on or working out to, and actually got someone at my job to consider going back into the gym. Now he kind of fell off the wagon, so to speak. He apparently started but then stopped. But the fact that he got started again in the first place, and it was kind of credited to me giving him some pointers or some insight about stuff. And it felt pretty good to be like, hey, I actually got somebody back into doing something that they stopped doing for a long time ago. And it felt pretty good. So yeah, if you see me drawing this, spark something, and it makes you want to go off and now, maybe do a solo leveling piece of your own, or whatever the case to be. Have at it, guys. It's one of those situations where it's like, hey, you don't think of being an influence, or at least a positive one, until it happens, and you're like, wow, you know what? That's actually pretty cool. I am gonna see if I can send a text out real quick. Hey Braden, you wouldn't happen to be visiting over from J the Concepts Discord, would you? If you are, that's pretty cool. I'm just saying, because I remember let's see, do that. Okay, cool. That's for you, freaking awesome. I know I did remember hearing that YouTube was doing some new stuff with the searching of new content creators, because so many had walked away or whatever the case to be. So a lot of people were reporting finally getting some traction on their pages because of this update that happened. So if it's because of that, then that's pretty cool. Yeah, people were kind of just people were going around being like, hey, this is the best time to make content if you're you know, a still kind of young channel, a small channel on YouTube, because for whatever reason YouTube is finally what's the word, you know, showing off young or fresh pages, and you know, whatever the case may be. So it's like, this is the best time. So hearing that, probably and I guess like a lot of new content creators are jumping in at the opportunity to get seen and all that stuff. So if you found me that organically, it's probably the consequence of that, and I appreciate that. That's pretty freaking awesome. And as far as having the motivation, giving you the motivation to actually do some artwork, that's also pretty freaking awesome as well. So if you want to go back and look at some of my past work, feel free to do that as well. I do have actual speed paints on my channel, so you are free to go back and look at some of my other works. Maybe they'll inspire you the same way. Is that a new playlist you're playing? I think so. That's do this, but I mean, as long as you're subscribed, you get a notification. You'll see when I go live, and we can take it from there, so to speak. But you know, right now I would normally be at work, actually. Funny enough. But due to what is it, high labor, they were like, hey, you know, we only have many people here right now. You want to go home? And I was like, yeah. Plus it was raining, and we had got slow, so they didn't feel the need to just be keeping people there. So here we are. It was a kind of a blessing in disguise, so to speak. And let's see. But you know what? I'll take a minute and talk about the show that I'm drawing this picture from too. Solo Leveling. It very much so has inspired a lot of people to do a lot of things in the fitness community, and me as well, I guess, in a sense. I definitely got hooked on the show first season. Um, and I'm glad to see that it, gained some of that traction that it got. Um, some people have praised it for being a pretty, you know, good show and animation and all that stuff. So, um, you know, glad to see people are enjoying it. The so many fitness videos have been made off of it. Because of the training and stuff of the show, and it had a similar training arc that I think One Punch Man comic made famous. The 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and the mile run or something like that, right? So people are like taking the Sun Jin Woo training and being like, hey, could you do this in real life and achieve a similar aesthetic and have a glow up, have a similar glow up? Obviously you wouldn't want to do all of that. I'm gonna talk about how suspect all those wins were. Not saying it wasn't worth it, but at the same time, people had to keep in mind the awards that it won was for its season 1 outing, as far as what the show did. Not so much the season 2 stuff. So I'm as much as I'm pretty sure season 2 will probably also win a bunch of awards next year. Because of the parent companies of both Crunchyroll and Aniplex. So that was a thing. So now it calls the legitimacy of the wins into question. So and for those who were wondering, it's Sony. Sony is the parent company. So for a lot of people, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's just Sony giving themselves a pat on the back." So that's all what the awards were. But but one of the best takeaways I can say from the show was the whole idea of I guess the fitness aspect of the character, right? Like, yeah, we see him do it in a very short amount of time, which apparently in the manga it takes a whole lot longer, right? Which makes sense because you don't get that big or buff or slimmed or whatever the case in that short amount of time. I mean, obviously this took some time, though it was accelerated due to his involvement with the system. It was still took some time, right? Like we don't know how long he was admitted in the hospital for, and they don't really give us that information in the anime. That's a good sign. This is a pretty big hoodie that this kid is wearing too, by the way. Just saying. This man got like the oversized hoodie on, like for real, for real. Motherfucker got the Assassin's Creed hoodie on. This much fabric in the back, like you would have thought he getting ready to go, you know, do some actual assassination work. Good. So the Apothecary Diary. I'm glad you asked. Apothecary. No, I get it. I'm like, no, but the Apothecary Diaries is pretty good if you'd like mystery. If you're a nerd for like how things are made or created with the use of medicine, etc. It's not a bad show actually. It's pretty cool. It's almost almost kind of like a mystery kind of thing. The lead female is pretty good with solving these one-off mysteries that happen around the palace of where she works. But oh, okay. Yeah, so she takes these otherwise unsolvable situations, solves them, and gains something of a reputation for it. And but yeah, I like doing these speed paints or these fan arts because it always feels good to know that I can kind of nail some of these designs that are totally created by someone totally different outside of me, but then the ability to recreate them is a pretty cool thing to kind of say, like, hey, I can draw. Now I know a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, well, you're kind of just looking at a reference, you're kind of doing something that someone already did. There's no originality in that, right? And for those people who are like saying that, you're missing the point of fan art. Now there are some people who will do fan art in their own style. Like let's say I had a established style and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna draw their art in my style. That's one way, right? But there are some people who will challenge themselves by drawing in the style of the artist that they're taking reference from. this would probably fall into that category. Let's see, what time have we got? We are an hour and a half into this. Buick GNX. Thanks, man. He said John is just a chill guy drawing an anime character. You're absolutely right. Thanks for the thanks for stopping by, man. Thank you. Hey Brent, hey Braden, thanks for stopping by, man. And I'm glad you got something out of it. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your evening, man. Thank you. And you're right, I am just a chill guy. So yeah. I'm actually kind of glad that that's come across, because I can cut off the blue lines now and focus on these lines. Let's play around with some of the background stuff here. Get a gradient going here. Gonna be generating background real quick. I feel like this would be better. Okay, that's a little bit better. Do a little bit more like that. Maybe airbrush some lighter tones at the top. Grab the big brush and big braces. And we will blend this out a little bit, just or blur it out maybe. Just to soften the edges a little bit. Let's try this blending option too for red. And all this is going to be behind the character anyway, so you guys probably won't even, so it won't affect the hair or anything like that. All right, go ahead and blend this, or blur this, or it softens it. Okay. Okay. So, let's see, how many people do we have watching right now? Yeah, pull up the YouTube real quick. See what we got going on here. Uh, hey, guys, we got a new subscriber. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we got one person watching, I think. We got 2 new subscribers. I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Um, and whether it's one person or 5 people, I appreciate anybody and everybody who take their time out to see what I got going on. Now, as far as the program I'm using Clips for Your Paint, the EX version, but this isn't the new update. I still have the old version of Clips for Your Paint. It has some of the newer features. I think this is like version, what is it? This is version 2.0. I got it. So yeah. So let's see if we can get some of these colors dropped in here. I'm gonna use something new that I don't think I get a chance to use a lot, which is the lasso tool. We're gonna use the lasso tool here to see if I can drop in some of these flesh tones real quick. Okay, that's kind of cool. Okay. So this is the enclose and fill option. So this will allow for me to be able to do an area, hopefully, and fill it in. I don't know. Why did it feel like it didn't do that right? Oh, we did just the line work, apparently? That's weird. That's weird. Okay. And tree stem only white. No, that doesn't work. You guys are seeing me fumble in real time. Refer only to the editing layer. Okay. Boy, this is gonna get messy. All right. So what I'm getting ready to do here is I'm getting ready to if I can get it to work. Fill in this area with some color if I can get this thing to work. All right, that's not too bad, not too bad. Going ahead and touch up some areas. Okay. We're gonna go back and fix the all the areas where it didn't get. Let's see. All right. Oh man. Ooh. I'm gonna BRB real quick so I can go and get something to drink. Give me a second. All right, guys, I'm back. Here's a random picture of Rav Talia from Shield Hero. So that was me trying my best to recreate this. This is pretty dated at this point. This is from season 1 of the show. This had a lot of other stuff tied to it. Open. Let's see. There was a webtoon comic I was working on. I have album covers I've done for people. Some of the other speed paints that I've done on the channel I have here as well. Some logos. I'm trying to find something that's actually worth showing off for you guys. Oh, so this guy should look familiar to you guys. If for those who have saw my other live stream, this is my OC character for my D&D campaign, and I hopefully will be doing more with this character coming up soon. So I'm actually still editing the video for this speed paint, so stay tuned for it. Did I not? Oh, this was a 10-page. Okay, so I was getting ready to work on a 10-page comic. Okay. All that. Very old at this point, but it's an oldie but a goodie, so to speak. Another oldie but a goodie is this picture I did of Chris Hemsworth as Thor from the first Avengers movie. The chainmail was freaking nightmare to do. Why it's not as detailed as it could be. Maybe one day I'll go back and tackle this again, but I was really proud of the face I did on that. But again, I might go back and do it again. I'm a little more experienced now than I was when I did that originally. Ooh, this is a good one. I'll pull this up real quick. See if I find something else noteworthy. Okay, yeah. So I'll pull this up real quick. This was another good one. This was my attempt at doing a Harvey, if I'm remembering correctly, from KDA. So not what I was trying to do. Okay, we're gonna. So for the hair, we're not gonna go completely black. We're gonna go with some variation of close up the gaps. I did miss some, and I'm checking. What the? Okay, so you want to hear something crazy, guys? My mic disconnected halfway through this. Holy smack. So you want to go as close to dark as close to black as you possibly can. You can't. I know you can't really see that. Actually, I'll go back to what it was for. Yeah. So you want to get as close to black as you possibly can without going too close to dark, or black, because you want to still be able to see line work, so you can do the things like add highlights and things that nature later on. But yeah, I did not know you guys couldn't hear me. Wow. So there'll be a whole section of this video that's just music playing for whatever reason. That sucks. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Is there any? Let's see. Trying to think is there anything else? Unfortunately, I was getting ready to call it a night. Dropping frames. Yeah, you guys have a good one.